Good morning everyone. In the previous session of Human Resource Management, I simply explained what does HRM mean, what are the various definitions of HRM and what is the nature of HRM. These three aspects are covered in the previous session or previous video class of HRM. In this video class, in this session, I am going to explain the various functions of Human Resource Management. Now here functions are considered to be one of the most important aspect of HRM. It explains about each and every function which creates or makes HRM more and more effective. That is, management of human resource becomes more and more effective. So the functions can be divided into two major categories. The first one is managerial function. And the second one is operative functions. Okay, so managerial functions are considered to be important set of functions because operative functions are hugely dependent upon the managerial functions. If these functions are not conducted properly, not executed properly, then it will have effect, not positive but a negative effect on operative functions. So these functions must be performed properly so the other functions can also be performed effectively and efficiently. So under managerial functions there are four types of functions. So the first function which comes under managerial function is planning. Now you must have read planning in human resource management principles of management. Now planning is considered to be one of the most important aspect in every organization. So how does planning become a function of HRM? What are the things that are planned under human resource management? So here, as you all know, planning is thinking before doing, or you can also say that it is a predetermined course of action. So, what are the things that are planned under HRM? Here, planning means planning of the strategies of human resource management. Here, planning means planning the strategies related to human resource management. How many number of people are supposed to be working in the company? What are the various requirement of the organization with respect of human resource? Each and everything must be planned. It also plans how each and every other function needs to be executed in a proper sequence. It also plans the sequence of each and every other function. So planning is the most important managerial function, or you can say the function of human resource management, because planning has the important elements which tells us that which are the functions, what is the sequence of different functions. So this is the foremost function of HRM. Now come to the second managerial function, that is called organizing. Now organizing here means giving a structure to each and every job, position to each and every job. Here each and every job is positioned in the hierarchy, in the organizational structure. What is the requirement, what is the importance, what is the contribution of the job? According to that, the jobs are ranked in this second function of managerial function, that is organizing. Here different departments are created according to the requirement, according to the size of the organization, according to the nature of the business. They divide the entire organization into various departments. Every department has a specific set of functions. Now they also have authority. The authorities are also delegated to all the departments, what kind of power they have, what degree of responsibility they have, what are the duties of each and every department. So the second function of managerial function is organizing, which helps the organization to organize the jobs in a proper sequence according to the requirement, according to the importance. So this is the second function of managerial function. Now come to the of managerial function, that is directing. After planning, organizing, the third function is directing. So what is directing? First of all, you have created a plan. You have arranged everything so that the plan can be executed properly. The third aspect is actual execution of the plan. The plan which is prepared and the facilities which are arranged for the execution of the plan needs to be executed in the third function, that is direction. Now, employees need proper set of direction, proper set of instructions so that they can perform their job properly. So that comes under the directing function of HRM or directing function of managerial function. So here it says that the employees are given proper guidelines, proper guidance, proper direction how to do their job properly, how to do their job in a proper sequence. It also helps in coordinating various departments, so the work of each and every department is properly coordinated and it will help the organization to achieve its goals and objectives. So directing not only provides instructions, direction to various departments, to various employees, but it also coordinates the activities of all the departments so that the organization can achieve its goals and objectives. Now let's move on to the last function, last managerial function of HR. So the last managerial function is controlling. So after planning, organizing, directing, we have controlling. Now what is controlling? Controlling means the review and evaluation of the plan which is executed. So first of all, in controlling function, we have prepared a plan, then we have an actual execution of the plan, that is the actual performance of the plan. So we have a proper plan that is prepared, we have proper performance of the plan. What we are going to do? We are going to compare the actual performance, actual execution of the plan with the plan which is prepared. And then we are going to find out deviations. Now these deviations can either be positive or negative. Positive deviation means the executed plan, the actual performance has been in accordance with the plan, but in a better way. It has done more better, it has performed better than the actual plan. That is the positive deviation. Negative deviation means whatever plan is created, the actual performance is not in accordance with the prepared plan. So that is the negative deviation. So while comparing the actual performance with the predetermined plan, we will find out the deviation. The deviations, like I said, can be either positive or negative. After finding out deviations, we need to find out what are the various reasons for this deviation, both positive and negative. And after finding out these reasons, we need to rectify or correct those mistakes which we have made during the execution of the plan. So that is the controlling aspect. We will evaluate what we have executed. We are going to find out our mistakes and then we are going to rectify the mistakes, and then again we will execute, we will prepare a plan and then execute the plan. So these are the managerial functions of human resource management. Now let's move on to the operative functions of human resource management. Now there are around 6 major categories of operative function. Now let me just say something about it. Now these functions are more like very generalized, means it is a large area of function within which small functions are operated or executed. But operative functions are very specific. Each and every function has certain limited things or limited activities to be done. So operative functions are very specific and to the point. So the first function which comes under the operative function is employment. Now employment here means finding out the suitable candidates for the organization and providing them job, appointing them on some kind of specific job. So that is employment. So we have to first of all search prospective candidates according to the requirement of the organization, who who possess the skills, knowledge and education which are required by the organization, and then we are going to try to appoint them, we are going to try to maintain them within the organization. That is the employment function. Now employment function also has around variety of functions. The first function which comes under employment is job analysis. Now, in order to find out what kind of people are required in the organization, first of all, we have to analyze the job. Job analysis means we have to find out what are the various activities which are to be done under the job, what kind of skills, education, experience is required to do such kind of job. So, these things are analyzed or these things are conducted under job analysis. We have to completely understand what is a job, what kind of activities are done, who is suitable for doing that kind of job. That is the portion of job analysis. That is job description and job specification and employee specification. So that comes under job analysis. After job analysis only, we can go for planning the human resource, which is the second function of employment. That is human resource planning. Human resource planning is planning or predicting the number of people required, will be required by an organization, and here not only means the total number of people, the kind of people, the number and kind of people means the total number of people will be required by the organization and what kind of qualifications, skills and knowledge those people must have to become part of our organization. That is human resource planning. Now this HRP is conducted on the basis of size of the organization, the nature of the business, what are the various kinds of jobs that an organization has. That comes under human resource planning. Now this human resource planning not only finds out the present requirement of human resource, it also predicts the future requirement of human resource. Means what is the actual number of people, actual kind of people will be required by the organization in future. So it also uses various methods and techniques to predict the future requirement, future human resource requirement of an organization. So that is the second function which comes under the employment. The third one here is recruitment. Now recruitment means finding out the various sources from which we can find out the suitable candidates for our company. So that is called recruitment. It means searching for prospective candidates and then encouraging them to apply for the job. And after that they will go through the other processes. So here recruitment here means the searching of prospective candidates. And how we can search this kind of prospective candidates? Through two sources. There are two sources which comes under the recruitment. Internal source and external source. Internal source here means the people who are already working within the organization. So we can fill up the vacant post by transferring or promoting the existing employees to the vacant position. That is the internal source of recruitment. External means which is outside the company. We can go for campus recruitment, we can go for walk-in interviews. There are variety of various sources of external recruitment. So first of all, here recruitment means searching for prospective candidates, then motivating and encouraging them to apply for the job. That is the basic function of recruitment. After recruitment, another important function is selection. Now, in this recruitment process, large number of people have applied for the job. But can we give job to each and every person? No, we cannot give the job to each and every person. We have to find out the best candidate out of a large number of candidates, prospective candidates. And how we are supposed to find out? We are going to find out through the selection function. Selection here helps to evaluate, to analyze the level of skills, the level of knowledge, education, experience. It evaluates these aspects of every candidate through variety of tests and interview. When you go through a selection process, each and every candidate goes through various numbers of tests and interviews. And in those tests and interviews, the capability, the potential and the creativity, everything is analyzed through those tests and interview. That will help the organization to determine whether the particular candidate is suitable for the job or not. See, here in selection process, it not only helps to find out the level of skills and knowledge, it also helps to analyze the behavior, the attitude, the personality of the candidate. Because for doing a particular job, skills and knowledge are required, but also right kind of attitude is also required. So, selection process also helps the organization to find out people with right kind of attitude, the attitude which is required for those particular jobs. So, after recruitment, the candidates go through the process of selection. After selection, the candidates go through the function of placement. Now, placement, what does it mean? Now, you as a candidate has gone through various number of tests and interview, and you are the best out of the large number of people, large number of candidates who have applied for the job. Now, the company has selected you for a particular job. That is called placement. After selection, you will be given a particular job. Certain number of duties and responsibilities will be assigned to you, and you will be given a proper designation. That process is called placement. You will be placed on a particular job. You will be given a particular designation and particular position within the organization. So that is the placement. Now come to the last function of employment, that is called induction. Now induction means, in the induction function, the organization introduces itself to the newly appointed candidates, newly appointed employees. Suppose you are a person who has joined the organization and you know nothing about the company. Now in this induction process, the managers will provide you necessary information regarding the organization, like the policies, rules and regulations, the mission of the organization, the principles, the values of the organization, what kind of ethics are followed in the company. Each and every aspect, important aspects of the organization are explained to the new candidates in the induction function, so that they can understand how this organization operates and how they are supposed to work within this working environment. It simply gives a brief introduction to the working environment of the organization. So these are the 6 functions which come under the employment function. Clear? Now let's move on to the another function, another operative function. The next operative function that we are going to discuss is HRD, Human Resource Development. Now in the previous function we have appointed human resource. In the next function they will go through various development programs, training programs, so that they can properly understand the job, they can properly perform the job and contribute to the success of the organization. So every employee needs to go through this development program so that they can improve themselves, so that they can be suitable for future higher position job and everything. So it is considered to be one of the most important function, because the human resource needs to be continuously developed so that they can cope up with the changing situation, they can cope up with the external threats, they can manage to give competition to the competitors which are increasing day by day. So that's why HRD is considered one of the most important operative function. Now within HRD also there are number of functions. The first function which come under HRD is training. Now training here simply means that imparting necessary skills, knowledge in a particular person which is required to do a particular job. For example, in the previous set of functions, in the last function, a person is appointed on the job and after that he went through an induction program. But if the person is new to the organization, if the person is doing this job for the first time, the person needs to be trained first. The person needs to be taught what are the various tools and techniques used for doing his or her job. Then what are the various skills and knowledge which are required to do a particular job. All these things are provided under the training program. Every candidate, every employee goes through the training program to understand the functioning of every job and how every job is going to be performed and what are the necessary skills, knowledge required to do a particular job. So training program helps an employee to understand a job and how to execute it, perform it efficiently as well as effectively. So that is the first function which comes under human resource development. Then performance appraisal. Now performance means here the performance of each and every employees are maintained, are recorded. Now those performance are evaluated by using various methods of performance appraisal. These performances are rated in terms how good they were, what were the mistakes they did and various other things. So they appoint certain appraisers who evaluate the performance of every employee. Now here you need to understand the person doing the job is not evaluated. Only his or her performance on the job is evaluated. So there are variety of techniques which are used to evaluate the performance of an employee. Now why performance appraisal is needed? In order to provide certain kinds of reward to those people who have provided excellent performance to the organization. And it is also necessary to find out what are the various new skills and knowledge which these employees require. After going through the performance of the employee, we can find out the mistakes the person has done and how to overcome or how to rectify those mistakes. What are the necessary aspects which are needed to be taught to that employee so that he can rectify those mistakes. For that purpose, performance appraisal is conducted. So the second function which comes under HRD is performance appraisal. Now come to the third function, that is managerial development. Now what is managerial development? Now you are appointed on a particular job, you are only focused doing your job. You will come to the organization, whatever activities, whatever tasks are given to you, you will simply perform, you will go to home. No, that's not it. You have to also go through the managerial development aspect. This means imparting necessary managerial skills within the employee so that they can work in a proper environment, they can cooperate with the other employees, they can we can say they can maintain healthy working relation with the other employees. Now in an organization, the most important aspect is considered human relation, which means relation between employee and employee and employer and employee. Now if this relation is not healthy, not good, work cannot be coordinated. Each and every person will come to the organization, do the task, leave the organization, they will not socialize with the people. It will be very difficult for an individual to become part of a team, and work as a team member. So this managerial development helps an individual to work as a team member, to work as a group member. They can work as one group, they can perform as a group, and they can also understand the importance of working in a group. So this will help them to maintain healthy work relation with the other employees, and it will also help to manage different things, manage different situations, because managerial skills are imparted under the managerial development function. So this is the third function which comes under operative function. So the fourth function here is career planning and what are the jobs, future jobs they would like to do, how they want to become successful. So that those things come under the career. Every person has planned a certain career path for himself or herself. Now career planning helps a person, helps an employee to understand what are the necessary elements which are required to move forward in your career, which you have planned for yourself. Means what are the skills, what are the knowledge, what are the capability, what kind of education is required to go towards a certain higher step. So that comes under career planning. It provides a career path, it provides a direction which is followed by the employees so that they can achieve their ultimate goal, ultimate individual goal. So career planning is one of the most important part of HRD because this helps the employees to attain job satisfaction. This helps the employees to achieve their personal goals, their individual goals. So these are the 4 points of HRD. The next point which come under HRD is internal mobility. Now internal mobility is related to career plan. Now let me give an example. Suppose you are working in an organization and you don't find good opportunities for promotion in the organization. What will you do in that situation? You will search for better opportunities outside the organization. And whenever you will find a better opportunity in any other company, you will leave your existing job and join the new job, join the new organization. That is called external mobility. Movement of an employee from one organization to another organization, completely outside the organization. And internal mobility is also part of career planning. Internal mobility means the company is providing them proper opportunities for promotion and for transfer. Okay? So internal mobility means movement of employees within the organization. It can be vertical, it can be horizontal. Now there are two or three aspects in internal mobility, that is promotion, transfer and demotion. Promotion means movement of an employee from a lower position to a higher position. That is called promotion. In the higher position, you will have higher pay, higher responsibility, higher authority. So everything will be much more than your existing job. That is promotion. That is one step ahead from your existing job. Now transfer here means your designation may remain the same, your salary, your incentive schemes always remains the same, but the place where you work, that changes. That is transfer, shifting of employees from one branch to another branch, from one department to another department. That is called transfer. Now come to demotion. Demotion is not that positive because it may be given as a punishment to a particular employee for any kind of misconduct. Demotion means from an existing position to a lower position. Suppose you are working as a manager, now you are demoted to the position of clerk. That is called demotion, or assistant manager. Demotion means from a better position, from a higher position to the lower position. So these are the functions which come under human resource development. Another one is another function which comes under HRD is retention and retrenchment. Retention means now every organization wants to retain the efficient employees, the employees who have a great contribution to the organizational success, who are very much committed to the organization, who have proved themselves as an important asset to the company. So every organization wants to retain them. How to retain them? By providing various opportunities, by motivating them, by helping them to develop themselves. So through this manner, they retain the efficient employees. But what about those employees who are not efficient, who are they do not accept any kind of change, they do not accept any kind of responsibility, the performance is not up to the standard. So what the organization does, they fire those employees. That is called retrenchment means termination of inefficient employees. So this is another function which comes under HRD. Retainment of efficient and talented people and termination of inefficient people who does not prove themselves as an asset to the organization. Now let us discuss the last point which comes under HRD. The last point which comes under HRD is change and organizational development. Change is something which is very constant in every organization. Now, an organization has various number of external environment which has major influence on the internal environment of any organization. So, changes in external environment will lead to various number of changes within the internal environment of the organization. So HRD also involves these kind of changes. Changes in the organization structure, changes in the job structure, job description, all those things. So that is the change aspect. Organizational development means these kind of changes will lead to organizational development. Overall development in the organization so that they can survive in the market, they can give competition to the competitors, and at the same time they can grow, they can develop, they can expand their business, and they can also diversify into various other businesses. So the last point of HRD is change and organizational development. This is the change within the internal environment of the organization and overall development of the organization. So these are the two functions which I have explained today, two functions of operative functions. So there are more four functions which I am going to explain in the next session. So this is for today. Thank you.